What's up, fellas? So today we here, we got to get this boundary thing out the way, right? All right. So I'm gonna call this the boundary paradigm. And basically, guys, what happened was on the previous video where I was talking about some guy promoting some other dating coach book on my Patreon. I had somebody come under there and said, well, basically, they didn't see anything wrong with that. All right. Long time patron. Shout out to my boy Tom Snow. Long time patron right there. Long OG patron supporter right there. Mr. Snow. And basically, guys, I was letting him know that that was my boundary. But then I gave it some thought over the weekend. Then I said to myself, you know what, self? I can see where the little interpretation could went wrong. And so I got to thinking, I wanted to come up, I thought of this boundary paradigm to break this shit down. All right, so you got different type of boundaries. Okay, guys? And I put them I got my little talking points, so I want to make sure I don't forget nothing, but I got my little talking points. But basically, to sum it up, you got two main types of boundaries and y'all guys know how I am, the genius I am. I came up with it. You ain't gonna be able to go on Google and find it. I came up with it, right? And you got the subjective boundary, right? Which isn't open to interpretation, which is different for everybody. An example of a subjective boundary would be liking a homeboy's girl pic on social media, right? Some friends might be cool with that. Some friends might not, right? That's up to y'all, the boundaries y'all put in y'all relationship. But I'm quite sure some homeboys might be cool with you liking their girl's pic. Some might not. Some businesses might be cool with you loitering, which is basically just you and a couple of friends just chilling out there, doing nothing, just loitering. Y'all bought a soda and y'all been there for 4 hours on your laptop, right? Some places might be cool with that. And some people might say, hey, y'all, keep it moving. Some people might be cool with you soliciting up there, which is, selling your CDs up there in front of their store. Some people might not. Everybody's different. That's subjective, right? And then you got what I call your common sense boundaries. Blowing smoke in somebody's face. Let me see. Sending a friend's girl a dick pic. Your girlfriend sending her ex nudes. Well, those are boundaries where I think I shouldn't have to tell you. I shouldn't have to tell you, hey man, hey John, hey guys, none of y'all send my girl no dick pics. I shouldn't have to make that announcement to my homeboys, right? I shouldn't have to tell my girl, hey, before we get in this relationship, I just want to make sure we clear on one thing. You can't send your ex no news, right? It's some shit you should just say. Like, you should not have to tell your girl, hey, babe, I just want to make sure we got this understood. Don't suck no other dude's dick in my house. I just want to make sure we got that. You shouldn't have to tell. That's what I call a common sense boundary, right? A subjective boundary would be like her maintaining a friendship with her ex or something like that. Like, well, we just friends. That's a subjective. That's something y'all have to discuss, right? Whether you say, no, I'm not cool with that, right? Some people might be cool with them being friends with their ex. Some people might not. That's a subjective. But I shouldn't have to tell you not to suck other dude's dick in my goddamn bed, right? That's a common sense. So basically, what that guy was, my boy Tom Snow, the patron supporter, the difference came in, well, the subjective boundary versus a common sense boundary, right? And so typically, guys, when you're dealing with subjective boundaries, typically you're going to have to handle them as they come along, most cases than not. Some people can take a subjective boundary and assume that it's a common sense boundary. Like, I assumed that guys would know not to promote other people's books and stuff, dating coaches books on my page, but I can see how that can be subjective, right? So that's when you run into issues when the communication breaks down as into what you think is common sense and what somebody else might think is subjective, right? Okay, so the point of that is, guys, is you want to make these boundaries, the subjective boundaries, as they come along. As they come along, as a subjective boundary, a boundary that's different from person to person, you address it right then in a non-aggressive way because they didn't know. That guy who left that comment on my page, I didn't chew him out. I didn't cuss his ass out. I just made a post, hey guys, do not promote other dating coaching page on my Patreon. This is my Patreon. That's my Patreon, right? That's my Patreon. This, don't promote other people, and that's it. Now, if that same guy would have had posted a dick pic in my community tabs, well, now that's a common sense boundary. So then I would block your ass, right? I shouldn't have to tell you not to post dick pic on the community tab, even though Patreon took the community tab down, but y'all guys get what I mean. That's some common sense. So when somebody violates a common sense boundary, which is blatantly disrespect, fuck you, common sense boundaries, guys, should basically be human decency. Human decency. It's called common sense for a reason. Human decency. You know right from wrong, motherfucker. You just want to be stupid and just see what you can get away with. So when somebody break one of those, you want to handle it in an aggressive way. Typically, guys, if somebody at my job, let's hypothetically say somebody at my job crossed the common sense boundary, right? I would warn them in a stern way, and I'm done communicating with them. You know what that means? Woo! You know what that means? Hey, hey guys, when you piss somebody off so bad that where they was cordial with you before, and then they check you on something, and then they done talking to you, you know what's next? That ass whooping next. So guys, that's how you handle a common sense boundary. When somebody cross that, you want them in a stern, aggressive tone. You know, why y'all know why dogs bark? They ain't got nothing else better to do. Just woo, 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 woo. They ain't got nothing else better to do. Just bark all day, right? They just bored, just bark. The bark is a warning. Yeah, that barking is a warning. When you see a cat, when they do that hissing, when they do that, that's a warning. That means I'm finna get in your ass. I don't want to get in your ass, but I will get in your ass. That's when you warn somebody, when a dog is finna bite your ass, he don't sit there and scratch his head. No, he wants you to know you this close from getting your ass bit. So when somebody break a common sense boundary, you want them. Hey man, hey, that right there, that was uncalled for. That was uncalled for. I don't play like that. And you're done talking to them. See, you keep talking to them, they'll try to, I'm done talking to you now. You ain't got your warning. See, I done barked at you. I done hissed at you. Your ass whooping next. That's how you handle when somebody crosses a common sense boundary. Because at that point, they being aggressive to you, you handle aggression with aggression. Subjective, you say, hey, maybe his other friends let him call him bitch. Hey, bitch, stop playing. I don't play like that. Hey, man, I don't do the bitch thing. Now, this is why the subjective come in at. Me and my homeboy Mark, we might play like that. I don't play like that with you. Some people see somebody else play with you a certain type of way, and they think like, well, I can play with him like that too. No, me and Mark been cool since the second grade. I met you 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know you like that. Yeah, I was there watching the episode of Martin where it was it Gina's friend, the homegirl came in from out of town. She was a successful book writer or some shit, a host or something. And then Martin cracked on Pam. And then the girl she tried to crack on Pam with Martin. And Martin said, whoa. You don't know that sister like that. Anybody gonna crack on Pam, I crack on Pam. So some people think that just because you play like that with somebody else, they can play with you like that. See, all this subjective is different. Just because You can play like that. Don't mean to play like you can play like that. Another thing with subjective things, boundaries, guys, is say a girlfriend. She might have her ex-boyfriend might have been okay with her doing certain things, going to the club. So you need to set these from the onset. Okay, let me explain this like this. With like girlfriends, family, and friends, guys, these are boundaries you have to set from the onset. Because these are more personal boundaries. With co-workers, people at the gym, strangers and stuff, you set those boundaries as they come along. Nobody in my family is going to call me and ask me for money. You guys, if anybody going to ask me for money, they'll ask me. Don't ask me to borrow. Don't never loan family money, guys. Don't never cross that boundary. If it's that big of an emergency, you just give it to them if you can afford to do it. But if you loan it to them, you just asking for trouble from a family member. Y'all are no longer going to be family, more than likely. There's a 95% chance that you just going to end that relationship. So if you want to keep that friendship or that relationship with that family member or friend, don't loan them no money. If you got it, just give it to them. That's how you handle it. Just give it to them. Hey, man, don't worry about paying me back. Because it's a 95% chance they can't pay you back. Or they won't. They're irresponsible, more than likely. It's a 90 to 95% chance. Okay, guys? So I just wanted to clear this up on the boundary. Subjective boundaries, guys, with family and friends. You set these from the onset with your girlfriend, with strangers, people at the gym, people, your co-workers and stuff. You set them as they come along because they're subjective, right? You look like a weirdo going to work. Like, hey, guys, nobody bother my lunch in the, just like just don't, you look stupid. Just wait till they come along as they present themselves. If people cross the subjective boundary, common sense boundary, people should know they either testing you or they just a jackass. They could not be just testing you. They could be just somebody without fucking manners and common sense. In any effect, you let their ass know that shit don't go here, baby. Yeah, we don't play like that. And you're done talking to them. Because you don't respect me. So I'm done talking to you. All right. So shout out to my boy, my patron supporter who inspired this video, Tom Snow. Little breakdown of communication on what a boundary is. Subjective boundary, what's the common sense boundary. And don't try to Google it, guys. I thought of it myself. So if you guys gonna go try to Google subjective boundary versus common sense boundary, I made the shit up myself. I thought of it myself. So don't even try to Google it. All right, guys. I'll get back with you guys later.